We will go racing next time by 75 laps of green flag action here at the Rockford Speedway for the second time in 2013 for the Mid-American Stock Car Series. Plur and Spoonmore, two former champs, get ready to lead them down. We are green! It is Spoonmore on the outside who gets the jump. Plur falling back a little bit. Here comes Swan into the second spot. Nowak trying to keep that outside line, matriculating to the front. Gets in the back of Plur. To the outside, here comes Lyle Nowak trying to keep pace up in the top three. On the outside of Plur, he's going to take that spot away while Swan looks for the lead. James Swan with the right front to the left rear of Jeremy Spoonmore. Fending him off for now. Nowak right into the dance as well, back in third. Swan tucks it back in line. Got a little blue paint down the backside of the 22 car. No harm, no foul. Into 3 and 4 again. Another tap on the backside of Spoonmore. James Swan reminding Jeremy Spoonmore who the 5-time Mid-Am champ is and where he's coming from. Right in that second spot, filling up the rear view mirror of Spoonmore. Dives to the inside again. Swan now side by side with Spoonmore. Going to try it the hard way on the inside. Washes up. Swan to the lead. Brad Keith, fast qualifier, already up to 5th here on lap number 7. Keep your eye on Keith, the fast qualifier moving. Ready to challenge Plur. Again, those are your tops in Mid-American Stock Car Series standings. Keith looking to put the dagger in here at Rockford before we go to Fest next week. Already starting to stretch it out up front. The 97, the 5-time champ, a former national short track champion here at Rockford, has had good luck. He's had bad luck here. Things looking good for now. Meanwhile, that battle raging for the second spot as Lyle Nowak is trying to find his way around Jeremy Spoonmore. Looks to the inside. Spoonmore not going to let him have that line this time at a 1 and 2. Nowak tucks it back in up top. He'll try to get the run off the second turn again within a car length. Now right to the back bumper of Jeremy Spoonmore again. Nowak starting to sense that Swan is getting away. Keith has also tucked it back in line behind Plur. Behind them, Ryan Gutneck, our second fastest qualifier today. And our defending race winner, Kenny Houston in the 47. Keith again slides to the inside of Plur. Snapped it sideways. Couldn't get the run. Plur on the outside will hold on to the spot for now. Here comes Keith back to the inside though in 3 and 4. Laps clicking off at a furious pace for the leader, James Swan. He'll be closing in on lap traffic very shortly. Nowak again to the inside. Makes contact with Spoonmore. You see a little bit of the 5 o'clock shadow on the nose of the 37 car. Some tire rubber from Jeremy Spoonmore, who's holding his ground in the second spot. Some incidental contact in that battle for second as Spoonmore gets back away by a car length. Brad Keith keeps looking down to the inside. That car formerly Ryan Farrell's, who once dominated that bottom line here at Rockford Speedway. This time it looks good for Keith. On the inside of Plur, into 1 and 2. Keith looks to work up another spot. Brad Keith will take that spot away from Plur, who's stuck on the outside line. And now it will fall on Ryan Gutneck to try to take this spot away. Looking for his first appearance in the top 5. Here is Ryan Gutneck now, still with Plur to try to dispose of. It's all looking good for James Swan. Oh, Chris Story gets into Rick Tackman right in front of your leader. Swan closing in on the lap traffic, and things are frantic. They sort out though. Story falls back a few car lengths, and here comes Swan, easily gliding to the outside. Off the pace, Vince Wilkinson in his 27 car. Now let's see if he can get it down to the infield and we can keep this one green. Yes, he can. We'll stay green. Swan didn't need to see a caution right now. Spoonmore still hanging on to that second spot. It'll be Nowak running third. Brad Keith down to the fourth spot. Ryan Gutneck fifth. Plur might be feeling the heat here momentarily from Kenny Houston. Might have some trouble here for Scotty. No, right in front of your leader, goes into the outside retaining wall. Ring. James Swan and Jeremy Spoonmore getting ready to lead the field down, and we're back to green. Spoonmore might see this as his best chance. He closes right back into the 97 of James Swan. He's within a car length. Seeing if he can make the run on Swan here, who gets away out of the turn as Spoonmore snaps sideways. Swan holding about a car length, now 2 car lengths. Stretching it out that time down the backstretch. Swan ready to say adios and via con Dios. Spoonmore again sideways as he starts to fall off the backside of Swan. He falls right into the clutches of Lyle Nowak. Nowak again is staring right into the rearview mirror. They're locking eyes. Oh, we got one stopped up. Chris Story is stopped. We are back to green. Again, Spoonmore trying to hold pace with Swan, who jumps away again by 2 car lengths. Nowak not too far off Spoonmore, keeping it within a car length in that battle for the second spot. Keith back there, ready to pounce if something goes wrong in that battle. But now he falls back by a few car lengths. Keith may have to deal with Ryan Gutneck here for the 4th spot. Gutneck filling up his rearview mirror, not too far behind. Plurs has seen some resurgence. And also the 47 car going to the outside. And Houston wants a spot. Trouble for Plur now. Plur will pull into the infield. One of the top Mid-American contenders. Looks like his day is ended. The motor has gone on the 54 Plur as Ryan Gutneck looks to take a spot away. Oh, Gutneck, that 4-wheel slide going into the turn. That might have cost them a chance on Brad Keith. Now suddenly the 47 of Kenny Houston is up into a top 5 spot. And Houston will set his sights, he's up to 6. Now he'll set his sights on the 0-1 of Ryan Gutneck. Troubled out for Brian Holtz. Brian Holtz over in turn number 1. Driver's side up against the outside retaining wall. Swan gets ready to try to take advantage of the restart once again with Spoonmore right behind. Keith goes up the track as we go back to green. Keith washes up again. The 0-1 of Ryan Gutneck will move to the 4th spot. And now here comes Kenny Houston looking for 5th. The point leader, Keith, falling back. Keith just lost another one. Now Dan Gilster working his way up. Something's wrong with Brad Keith. All of this could be very good news for Jeremy Spoonmore. We see Keith again. Does he need a yellow? He falls all the way to the back of the pack. Keith will pull off in turn number 3. The point leader back to the pit area. Well, Jeremy Spoonmore might have just been given new life in the Mid-American Stock Car Series point battle. He'll try to hold on to that second spot and gain every marker he can going into Fest next week. Suddenly, Ryan Gutknecht's up to 4th. Into the 5th spot, it's last year's winner, Kenny Houston. Does anybody have anything left for James Swan? Continues to stretch out that lead. He'll come to the cross flags this time. He says he's still got a lot of leaving left to do as he continues to stretch it out over Spoonmore. Noah content to ride in the 3rd spot right now. However, he's not making things easy for Jeremy Spoonmore, ensuring that Spoonmore has to hit his marks lap after lap. You see a little smoke coming out of the 32 out of the right rear. Every once in a while when he goes up into 3 and 4, might be, or excuse me, to 1 and 2, might be a little bit of a tire rub on the 32 of Nowak. Watch it again this time. See a little puff of smoke that time out of the right rear of Nowak. And now Spoonmore starts to get away just a little bit. And here comes the 0-1 car of Ryan Gutknecht to the inside. He might want the 3rd spot. Brad Keith wants to get back out. However, there's not a very good gap for him to get out safely. Ryan Gutknecht has been fended off by the 32 of Nowak. Held him off for now. Scotty Knoll feeling a little pressure right now from the 66 of Chris Story. This would be for the 7th spot. Gilster sitting all alone in the 6th spot right now. Up the track, here comes the 66. Once again, a Chris Story trying to find that spot on Knoll. This time by, it'll be lap number 45 for Swan. Lap 45. Spoonmore has separated himself from Lyle Nowak. Nowak up the track now. That'll allow Gutknecht to try to catch back up in that battle. The 80 of Dustin Krebs smoking a little bit. We've seen a little smoke out of Nowak in 1 and 2. Now we see it out of Krebs. Right in front of your 2nd place driver. Krebs slides down to the inside. That'll allow Spoonmore to get away. Nowak, again, still having that rear view mirror full of the 0-1 of Ryan Gutknecht. Washes up the track in 3 and 4. Keith still waiting for a way to get out. Now he finally will. Brad Keith back out on the racetrack, multiple laps down. We'll see if that allows Brad Keith to gain some spots. He might need some help. James Swan has gotten around Rick Tackman in the 74 car. Swan a full straightaway, and that lap car ahead of Jeremy Spoonmore, who's now at the line. He's got about 5 car lengths on Lyle Nowak back in 3rd. We've just hit the 2/3 of the way through marker. That was lap 50, now 51 for Swan. Lyle Nowak isn't out of the woods just yet, with Ryan Gutknecht hanging about 2 car lengths behind, but now Nowak stretches it out just a little bit. Kenny Houston, last year's national short track champion, running back in the 5th spot. And it's more trouble for Dustin Krebs. And now Story sideways off the turn. Oh, big trouble. Krebs putting a whole bunch of fluid down. The 88 spins. Also had the flu back there. Having a nice turnaround today. 23 still remain. A Swan back to green. Now trouble for Houston. Fulford gets into the 62 car. Houston off the pace in the 47. Pulls into the infield. Put Gilster to the top 5. We'll keep it green. We keep this one rocking and rolling. Again, Spoonmore trying to keep pace with the 97 of Swan. Couldn't do it. Nowak, just like he did after the last green flag came out, will hold on to the backside of Jeremy Spoonmore, trying to threaten him for the second spot. Continuing to see that puff of smoke out of the right side of the 32 car of Nowak. Not sure what that is or if it's going to come back to haunt him later. We'll keep our eye on it. Nowak again right there, closing the gap on Spoonmore. Filling up his rearview mirror with a big yellow nose. Nowak took a peek to the inside. Spoonmore wouldn't let him have it, and Spoonmore knows he can't give up any more points. He's going to need every point he can get going into next week. And Brad Keith just making laps right now, hoping to pick off some more spots for those cars that have left the racetrack. Slides to the inside of the 74th Tackman, but again, Tackman on the lead lap, so kind of a moot point right now for the 48 of Keith. However, testing that car, making sure everything is A-OK. Good battle still brewing from second on back with Spoonmore, Nowak, and now Ryan Gutneck entering the fray. Swan back out to 10 car lengths. Down to the stripe this time. A 14 remain. It's lap number 61 for Swan. Jeremy Spoonmore, little brother Charlie, having a birthday today. Would like to give him a nice present with that second place run. Nowak wouldn't mind taking that away. Gutneck, a spoiler in this one as well, not running a full-time schedule of the Mid-American Stock Car Series. Perhaps he could take a few points away from these two as well. Keith's still working hard, trying to pick up some spots. Ultra competitive current point leader for the Mid-American Stock Car Series, sliding to the inside of the 88 car. Brad Keith proving he had a fast race car, and something just went awry on lap number 34. 10 remaining for James Swan this time at the line. Spoonmore gets it back out to a car length over Nowak. Gutneck also fading back in the 4th spot. Gilster still all alone, sitting back there in 5th. Chris Story has worked his way to 6th. 7th spot for Tim Fulford. Ken Calhoun will be running in 8th. He'll get passed by Brad Keith. However, Keith laps down. And 9th spot belongs to the 74 of Rick Tackman. If Keith keeps going, he might still somehow salvage a top 10 out of this one. James Swan making his first start with the Mid-American Stock Car Series this season. He's been a busy guy racing super late models. Has found quite a bit of success. Coming back to his roots, the 5-time champion. Stretching this lead out to Spoonmore by over a straightaway again. One of the winningest drivers in Mid-Am history will come to the stripe this time for lap number 70. 5 laps remain for Swan. Dan Gilster might have to look out. He might have a little bit of company in that battle for the 5th spot as Chris Story is starting to close the gap. Story within striking distance now here with just a few laps left. Trying to catch up to Gilster and secure a top 5. It'd be Story's best ever Mid-American Stock Car Series feature finish. Swan continues to roll up front. He'll slide to the outside of Scotty Null, putting him another lap down. He'll close in on that group that includes Tackman, Keith, and Calhoun. Swan just needs to hope that nothing goes wrong here in the final circuits as he comes to the stripe. White flag is out. One more time around for Swan. Spoonmore also looking to hold on to that second spot. It's looking good right now as he's got a car length over the 32 of Norwalk. For the second time, James Swan is a winner of the National Short Track Championships. Champion of our Connor Memorial winner, James Swan! Oh, yeah, here comes the wreath. We need to get the wreath on you here, James. By the way, I noticed, we'll get the checkered flag as well. I noticed, James, you're coming across the line a little sideways. What was going on there on the last lap? Just having a little fun, right?
Oh, yeah, having a lot of fun. These cars are so much fun to drive. I love racing them. I love racing with these guys. This is my first race out this year, and I miss these guys, and it's a lot of fun.
Really early in the race, you got that lead away from Spoonmore. It worked pretty well on the outside, just right past him, got to the inside, and away you went.
Yeah, the car was actually really good. I don't know. I was sliding around a little bit here and there. I changed my line a little bit, and away it went. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I got to, again, thank Brian Holtz for letting me do this. Adam over in the pits, Eddie, Katie, my fiance. Hope to get her picture up here on this wreath again.
Another National Short Track Championship. What does it mean for you, knowing the history of this event in the Mid-American Stock Car Series and how far back it goes?
You know what the coolest thing is? The whole day I was sitting up there in the stands, and Richie Bickle was getting inducted to the Walk of Fame over here, and he's wearing a James Swan shirt. That made my day. The rest of this is just a bonus.
Vercotter Memorial Trophy as well, 5-time champion. You do Gary Vercotter and well. What does it mean for you to get your name back on that trophy, too?
Yeah, we only had it once, and I didn't know it was even in there until we were coming here yesterday. Katie read it on the internet, on Facebook, and yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure I can find a place to put it. I'm glad to have my name on it. I'm proud to be a part of it and a part of the series and these guys and that trophy.
Next year you're going to bring that super late model here, right?
I don't know. That depends on Brian Holtz.
All right, well, we'll think about it. Maybe next year we'll see him in the big 200-lapper. Today he is a victor of the 75-lapper with the Mid-American Stock Car Series. How about it for James Swan? Well, that'll wrap it up for us with the Mid-American Stock Car.